those of us of a certain age, translation us, more experienced folks, if we're familiar with a movie I think called Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, as you know, our next conductor, who currently hails from Chicago but spent most of his high school teaching career, all of his high school teaching career in Florida, was teaching in Atlanta Thursday night. Yes, that's how it went. His first flight got canceled. His second flight got canceled. His third flight was delayed. I think the royal tally was 9 hours. Finally left the ground at 11 p.m. Friday night, last night. Landed at DTW around 12:45. They waited for another 40 minutes to get the exit gate to actually connect to the plane. Then he had to go cross town, if you've ever been to DTW to get to a rental car place. His head finally hit the pillow at 4 a.m. And then he had to go teach for 7 hours these awesome young musicians. He went home during the dinner break and took a cat nap to be refreshed to go do this thing. Please welcome to the stage Mr. Alexander Kaminsky.
There we go. Thank you so much. Yes, it's been an interesting 24 hours, and the cool thing is that when you have students like this to work with, you almost forget that your body isn't functioning the way it needs to. They have been awesome. and I think they were being extra kind because they knew what I had gone through, and so it's just been tremendous. I just met them today, like for the first time. And before I forget, I want to thank the 4 directors that took over the rehearsal last night. One is Elon Jamison of Ferndale High School, who's been kind of my contact. I really appreciate all his work. Peggy Babcock at North Farmington High School, Dave Jensen, Royal Oak High School, and then Mike Lewis from right here at Clarkson High School. Can we give them a hand? So that first piece is by a young composer. His name is Tyler Grant, and that's one of his earlier pieces, actually. And he is really becoming a prolific wind band composer. In fact, at Vanderbilt College of Music, where I'm a director of bands, we just premiered his latest work, entitled All the Earth and Air, and that was dedicated to Dr. Bruce Moss, who just retired from Bowling Green State University. So he just writes really fun, celebratory type of music. The next selection, and we're going right in the order of the program, is Bridget's Cross by another young composer, Gerard Hall, and he wrote this as a prayer of solace and peace, and it's just a beautiful work, and we hope you enjoy Bridget's Cross. Do I need to do anything on this? Or? interesting because I've done quite a few one-day honor bands, but I don't usually program like this because this is really a day and a half type of program. So to have a third of the rehearsal time removed just because I was stuck in Atlanta, and boy, they don't know how to deal with snow down there. Holy cow. Like de-icing a plane took like 45 minutes. I don't know what they were doing. But anyway, but for these students, this is the first honor band where I've done a day and a half program in like one day, and they sound like this. Just like, and of course, that's a testament to all the teaching that's taking place before Dr. Thornton and I ever walk into the school. And boy, the concert band, is that what it's called, the concert band? You guys are the concert band? Is that, weren't they awesome? All right, next on the program is a march. Henry Fillmore was actually a professor of music at the University of Miami, where Dr. Thornton and I hail, from Florida. And Henry Fillmore is said to never have written anything but happy marches. I think you will agree that this is one of those, the North-South College All-Stars. The next selection on the program is by Ron Nelson, who is an established, he passed away years ago, but he's an established prolific band composer, wrote many advanced level works, and this is actually one of his earlier works that I like to share with audiences and directors. It's entitled The Mayflower Overture, and it basically depicts the journey of the ship looking for the New World, coming across the ocean. So you're going to hear actually the send-off from port at the beginning, very celebratory, and then things are going fine, and then a storm arises, and so you're going to hear some stormy sounds, and then they get through the storm, and things are very calm and serene. There's a beautiful melody, and then they see the New World, and you hear the doxology that many of us have heard in churches, and it ends very grand, very grandiose. So we hope you enjoy Ron Nelson's early work entitled Mayflower Overture. Okay. Yeah, and we met this morning. It's like, I've never done that piece in like one day. And so, boy, it's just so encouraging, as our jazz band, honor band conductor mentioned, how encouraging it is and inspiring to work with students like this. And so, can we give all of the students a round of applause? And once again, thank you to the District 4 directors and Elon Jemison in particular for being great hosts and the invitation to be here. It's been a pleasure. Yes, my son, actually, I'm going to drive back to East Lansing. I rented a car. It's a long fiasco, but anyway, so I'm driving back to Chicago, and I'm going